Now, one of my favorite things to do on the guitar, if you've already seen my videos, is the upstroke, right? And essentially the upstroke is whenever you're utilizing your ring finger to strum multiple strings at once instead of, right? So in action, it kind of sounds like this, right? Compared to gives it more fullness, right? So how to do that? It's very easy. So before we even go out how to do that, why is it needed? Simply because, like I said, it just adds more fullness to your playing, and then it gives more variation to your playing too. So you're not just only hearing one chord, you're also hearing all the other chords, and you're like, what the heck? Like, this is amazing. This is ethereal. So, right? So how to do this? Whenever you're strumming, you want to go up, and you really want to use like the flat of your ring finger. And you don't want to just come up, right? Starting from the high E string and coming up. And really, you want to make sure that you're just strumming the E, the G, the E, the B, and the G string. Right? Now, the reason I do this sometimes is simply to give it more fullness, and whenever you're downstroking, you're mostly hearing the bass. So whenever you're upstroking, is mostly like you're just hearing like the highs of the song. So that's what will give it that like that sound that a lot of people like, because most times whenever you're listening to music, it always has like bass in it. You'd rarely hear music that doesn't, right? So to implement this into a progression, right, we're gonna of course again start with F major 7. I'm just doing these easy chords just so I don't overwhelm you guys, right? So F major 7, of course, right? Then we're gonna do a G7. So instead of a G major, with our finger on the 3rd fret E string, is going to be on the 1st fret E string. All right, so F major 7. Then we're going to go to an E minor. Right? E minor, 2nd fret, you're going to be pressing the A and the D string. Then you're going to do an A minor. Now, if you're feeling spicy, you can do an A minor 9, right? And to do an A minor 9, 1st fret is going to be on the B string, 2nd fret is going to be on the D string, 3rd fret is going to be on the high E string, and the 4th fret is going to be on the G string, right? And essentially, if you just want to play a normal A minor, that's cool too. You can just have, well, you already know. So yeah. So, to implement this, right, let's see if I can show my hands. So let's say if you wanted to implement the downstroke and the upstroke, right? So the downstroke is essentially going down, upstroke is essentially going up, right? So something I like to do is, it'll sound like this. So that right there. So there's like a space, right? There's a space in between where if I didn't do an upstroke, then it would be kind of off beat, which is why I implement that. So again, you have to listen to it. And then I'm going to a C major, So F major 7. And then, so essentially I'm playing an A minor, but I'm just adding my pinky to the 3rd fret high E string. So I'm pressing it, and then I'm pressing it again, but lifting my pinky off. So, but since I'm doing that, that gives me limited time to, you feel me? So I could also do it like that, upstroke back to the F major 7s. But since we're implementing downstrokes as well, we can just, you feel me? Instead of, it's just to add more variation. Like I said, you can do it however you want. However, if you want to implement downstrokes into upstrokes, that's a way that you can do it. So, C major, A minor, and then back to F major 7, or and since my hand is relaxed sideways, I'm easily able to the downstroke and then go back into my finger style immediately. So So another variation of an upstroke, you can call this up plucking, however you want, but another variation of the upstroke is when you use all 3 of your fingers on the high E string, the B string, and the G string, and then using the low E string, and you're just coming up just like that. So it's almost as if you're like trying to grab it, but you're not. You're just, that's another variation of the upstroke. So you can implement that as well. You can, or you, downstroke, and then up pluck. You feel me? And then, so it sounds like, you feel me? And then you can also, instead of, because whenever you're doing the upstroke as well, that also saves you a lot of time to, again, fingerstyle again, compared to you and then having to reposition yourself to fingerstyle. So essentially that's basically how it goes. I wouldn't necessarily say this is a mistake that you might come across. However, you might come across where you're trying to upstroke and you can only like upstroke the high E string for whatever reason. Remember, it's all of them. Let me do it slow. Compared to see, there's the difference. It sounds more full. It sounds like, oh my God, this goes together. You feel me? See, I'm implementing the downstroke as well. Upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke. You can do it however pattern you want. like that.